Hey everybody. The video that you're actually about to see was recorded on October 22nd. It was a long one actually. It was about a half an hour. I think exactly a half an hour or 38 minutes. So I had to cut down on some stuff. And because it was recorded a while ago, some of the stuff that I talk about might seem a little bit outdated. The Assassin's Creed Unity thing, I think that's still going on. It's November 5th right now, the day I'm recording this part. So, there was a car outside. Anyway, the Assassin's Creed Unity stuff is still there. The Smash Brothers stuff, you know, my opinion on that is still there. The last thing I talked about was Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, and if you guys seen my reaction video for the zombies thing, I'm about to go into more detail about that, but that was the last thing I talked about as far as Advanced Warfare. This was made beforehand, before the game was released, but I cut it out completely, and I'm going to update it with what I think about the game today. So, the part that I'm about to play for you is from the further date back. There will be links down in the description so you can skip and go to each conversation for whatever I'm talking about, whether it's about Assassin's Creed or Call of Duty. By all means, you can do that instead of, you know, having to sit and watch through the whole video if you don't want to. Either way, I really appreciate you guys clicking on the video. I don't know how long this is going to be now since I cut it down and edited a bit at this point in time, but yeah, a lot of that was cut out. So I'm going to run through it quickly. I'm going to let you watch this part of the video now, and then I'll come back at the end of the video. Hey everyone, Soren R. Rocks is here. Man, it's great to be back in front of the camera. It's been like a week now. I really apologize. This is actually the first video I've made. The reason why I say this is because I released another video on my channel just now, talking about GTA and some other update stuff that I did. With that being said, this is actually the first video I recorded prior to the first video I uploaded. So, even though this is the second video to be uploaded, this is actually the first one I did. And the reason why I did this first is because I want to talk to you guys about basically just some gaming news. This is just a random discussions video, and feel free to skip to whatever part you want to hear me talk about, or maybe you don't want to hear me talk about it at all, then why did you click on the video? I'm messing with you. Down below in the description box there will be, it's hot in here, there will be a link to the topic I'm currently talking about. So what I want to first get off my chest is about the, actually let me get this computer off the way so I can get closer to you guys. Okay. Oh. And I think I messed up my chair. Hold on a sec. Okay, I'm back. I messed up my chair. I'm sweating. It's only because I just recently got out the shower and I am starving right now. Okay, so let me quickly talk about just the three things we're going to discuss this time. As always, when I do these random discussion videos, the first thing I want to talk about is the Smash Bros. Direct U, or the Nintendo's Direct, which released a video I think a couple of days ago or so, 2 or 3 days ago, where they was talking about Super Smash Bros. The video actually lasts for 35 minutes. I even put it on my Facebook. I was like, wow, this is actually a really good video, but it's long as hell. All about Super Smash Bros. On the Wii U and the differences between that and the 3DS. Before you say anything, no, I do not have Super Smash Bros. For the 3DS, although I have played it and it's pretty good. I recommend that you do pick it up if you're a fan of Smash Bros. Or if you've never played it before, you want a little handheld one. The reason why I bring this up is because I already know Smash Bros. Is going to be good. Okay, you know, I've never had any problem with any, let me fix the camera here, I never had any problem with any Smash Bros. They have all been reasonably pretty good, and I've enjoyed every moment of them. What I've just want to bring up here is the fact that is Mewtwo's character. There was a trailer that was part of the end of the Nintendo Direct trailer, which featured Mewtwo. This was also such a big announcement for the character that they actually put it in a separate trailer. Nintendo did. And it was just like a 30-second video just saying that, hey, Mewtwo's going to be in the game, but it takes a while to develop him. It's going to take us a year to develop him. Okay, you reuse the animations and fighting style from the previous games, from Brawl. Mario pretty much fights exactly the same, you know. Why couldn't you just transfer that over? Anyway, I guess Melee's too old now. But the problem with that is he's only available if you buy the Wii U and 3DS version. There has been some misinterpretation around as far as certain people think that you can purchase him separately. I don't know if you can now. Maybe they're going to implement that later. Maybe that was the game plan that was talked about on their Twitter or Facebook, Nintendo's. But I'm going from what I've heard in the trailer, straight from Nintendo's mouth. And Mewtwo can only be playable if you purchase the 3DS and Wii U version of the game, which is kind of silly, to be honest. It's silly as the fact of that it's pure marketing, okay? This is a popular character. People have been wanting him back since Melee. Okay, that's understandable. I personally been wanting him back. I thought he was a genuinely good character and should have been never taken out of the game to begin with. But to force your fan base of this character, and the original Mewtwo, mind you, like the original design Mewtwo and everything, to force us who, you know, grew up with that version of Mewtwo or know that version very well, to whatever later version it is that he is now, for you to do that, for you to put him in the game, but say you can't get it unless you have both games. You know what that means? That means if you have a 3DS and you don't have a Wii U, you gotta get a Wii U. If you have a Wii U, then you have to get a 3DS. Plain and simple. If you have both, you're fine. There's no problem for you for getting it if you have both. You know, if you want to buy the same game twice, and that's no problem. You know, a lot of people do that. I've done that. You know, I did this with games with like Red Dead Redemption. You guys know I did it with the Batman Arkham series. I brought the game twice. And there's nothing wrong with, of course, different editions. You know, Game of the Year, regular version, and blah blah. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with buying a game twice, especially if it's a good game and it's worth buying. But what about people that don't want the Wii U? I was suckered into getting the Wii because, you know, I really want to get Brawl. I really want to get Brawl, and there was no Brawl version for the Nintendo DS, obviously. And of course, Brawl was a big money maker for Nintendo because a lot of people got the Wii because of Brawl. You know, we're not going to get it because of Wii Fit. I don't care how many of the older generation buys it. Okay, I'm part of that older generation now, but you know what I mean. At the time that the Wii came out, you know, I was a teenager and everything. I was just like, yeah, the older people want it. I don't want it because of that. I want it because of Brawl. You know, give me the GameCube controller. I will sit right there and fucking play it. And now it's not like that anymore. We've come to the point where companies are trying to get every little cent out of you. And in order for you to play as a fan favorite like this, you have to get two systems that, you know, you probably don't even want, or at least one of them you don't even want. You know, if you already have the game, if you already brought the game, Nintendo has that money. If you already have that game, it's most likely you have the console for it, whether it's the handheld 3DS or whether it's the Wii U. You know, Nintendo already has the money. Why go that extra mile just to squeeze a little bit more money out of you so we can say, all right, you have the Wii U, you gotta get the handheld if you want this character. And you know what? If they don't change that, most likely no one's going to do that deal. No one's going to take that deal. There are going to be some people. What am I saying? What am I saying? There are, of course, going to be some people that's going to fall for that. Or they just have the money and they can just apparently get both. From the appeal from both Xbox One and PlayStation 4, I wouldn't spend my money on a Wii U, at least not now. You know, that'll possibly be like later down the line sort of thing. Heck, even with the original Wii, when I got it, I didn't get it until like a year or two later. And I only got it for Brawl. And because you only get it for that one game, there's going to be other games that you're possibly not going to be interested in. Same thing with me and the Xbox. When I had my Xbox, I brought the Xbox just to get one game. Got that game, brought like one or two more, and I rarely played it. I would mostly just play it just for that one game and that one game only. And it's to the point now where I personally wouldn't buy a console just for one game, because it's most likely whatever time you're putting in for your gaming purposes, whether it is the 3DS, whether it is the Xbox One or the PS4. That console that you have the most games for, that console that you're putting in work now, you're going to be putting in work into it later. Okay? Yeah, you might go back and play Smash Brothers after a while, blah, 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 but you're going to go to the console that's going to have the variety of games, it's going to have the more interesting games on it. Not to say that something like Hyrule Warriors or whatever the fuck Donkey Kong or Mario's doing now isn't interesting, because, you know, yeah, you do have Hyrule Warriors, you do have Mario Kart 8, that's fine. Super Smash Bros. Like we're talking about, I can't think of anything else. So just keep that in mind. I'm not saying don't support Nintendo. You know, we all love Nintendo here. You know, we've always loved Nintendo ever since the 80s. But come on, guys, really, you're going to fort. Moving on. Okay, so in this segment, I wanted to talk to you guys about Assassin's Creed Unity, and I'm going to go more in depth on this for when I do my Assassin's Creed games video. It's going to be a little different how I did the Infamous Games videos, which was broken up into two parts because I had a lot to talk about. This one I will have a lot to talk about, but I'm just going to keep it in one part because doing two videos is more of a hassle. And I was really excited for Infamous Second Son to the point where I still haven't played it, I still have the game, still haven't played it, but I was so excited for Infamous Second Son that I made a whole separate video about how I think it's going to be awesome. I did my top 5, you know, top 5 or top 10, one of those. And, you know, I was really excited about it, and that's the only reason why I did that for part 2. But with the Assassin's Creed games video, a future video I want to do, it won't be broken up into parts. It'll just be one part, and it'll just be, you know, me talking about the Assassin's Creed games and whatnot, whatever, blah, blah, blah. We'll get to that when we get to it. What I want to talk about now is something that's already been talked about. Like I said in the first video, I've just been busy, preoccupied with, hear a noise downstairs, preoccupied with family stuff and as well as school stuff, so have to make sacrifices. Can't stay up here and make videos all day as much as I want to make videos all day. The refrigerator scares me all the time. It just clicks on when I'm trying to do something. With Assassin's Creed Unity, Ubisoft already came out and said that they are going to lower it from 1080p to 900p, as well as bring it down to 30 frames. Okay, we who play console games, we who play on consoles, are, you know, have a right to be pissed, but at the same time, we might not notice much of a difference as far as, like, when you're looking at Unity on a YouTube video, of course you can notice the difference. I mean, YouTube lowers the quality anyway, but, like, my videos be coming out looking much better than they do when I put them up on YouTube. But with that being said, the reason why Ubisoft thought it was okay to do such a thing, lowering it to 900p and 30 frames per second, is, my colleagues already talked about this, is either to make it more cinematic for some reason. What does that even mean? You know, people have already said this, you know, even people like Total Biscuit has come out and said, like, what does that mean? I said, okay, you know, I guess that means to make it more movie-like. Okay, so you want to make it more Call of Duty-ish? And we'll get to Advanced Warfare in a sec. But to make it more movie-like, is it? No, it's not that. It's possibly that the game can't hit 60 frames or maybe you just refuse to put that much work into the consoles, then what is the point of getting a next-gen system if you're just going to lower the quality of the game? You did the same thing with Watch Dogs, and I swear, and you did the same thing with Assassin's Creed 4 in the beginning, which is a beautiful looking game. Now it's at 1080p, you know, on the PlayStation 4, but come on, games, even Black Ops 2 for Call of Duty was able to hit 1080p on the PS3, you know? It's not like it's not impossible. You're gonna let Treyarch beat you on that? Oh, well, we lowered the frames as well as the quality because we wanted to keep it the same on both consoles. Why? Well, to stop the debates and the arguments on the internet. It's the goddamn internet! Like, what? Really? We're going to purposely downgrade our games, all the beautiful work you put into it, and I seen it at E3, you know, I even seen the recent gameplay videos for Unity, and they make France look absolutely beautiful. You know, this is a really good looking game. Animations, the quality of the movement, fabric, I guess that goes with animations, but you know what I mean. Aesthetic. It looks really good graphically. Movement-wise, it looks really good. The clothes, they move in a realistic fashion. You know, if you're running like this, your clothes are going to be moving like this, and that's how it does on the game. All this work that you put into, you are going to purposely lower it because you have a deal with Microsoft to promote it during the holidays. Yeah, okay. I'm not going to go out and say that Microsoft was the one that paid them in order to lower the game's quality, which I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not trying to play the fanboy card because, you know, PlayStation, you done some stupid shit too, but still. Why would you purposely do that? To stop the arguments and stuff? Hey, that's actually what a developer said. I didn't say stuff, you know. He personally said that in his quote, stuff. Of course they said that was misinterpreted, but how can it be? You basically just said that you did this to stop the debate and stuff. As long as something like YouTube comments, 4chan, and a number of other forum websites exist, there will always be a debate over your game, okay? If you feel so bad about that, Ubisoft, and if you feel like you should dictate what goes on the internet, don't show your shit on the internet! There is no reason for you to show it if you want to stop the debates and stuff. Get rid of your YouTube channel. Don't show it in any Game Informer or any type of game magazine. Don't let anybody play it or put screenshots up on it. Make sure none of your contractors leak the gameplay. And then you can stop the debates and stuff. Yeah, don't show us the fucking game because people are going to argue about it regardless, and Assassin's Creed is a long-running franchise. I'm going to get into this a little bit more on the Assassin's Creed games video, so, you know, look forward to that. But that's my opinion on it so far. It's really dumb. And for them to try to justify it, they are literally putting their foot in their mouth every time they open their mouth. Mouth? This is the foot. My hand is the foot. Mouth? That's Ubisoft. God. You know, it makes me kind of fear for something like Far Cry 4, which looks really good as well. Don't have to worry about Rogue, Assassin's Creed Rogue, unless you're getting it for PC. And that's another thing. Assassin's Creed Rogue has finally been announced for PC. It actually was announced a while ago. Rogue seems interesting to me. Just briefly talking about Rogue, I wasn't supposed to, but I am. I was actually planning on getting the game just so I can do a review on it and whatnot. I already completely talked about and have said that I love Assassin's Creed 4. I think Assassin's Creed 4 was fantastic. I'm not alone on that fact, but there are some people that didn't like Assassin's Creed 4, and they actually want to go back to form as far as the older ones. I think the naval combat in Assassin's Creed 4 was really good to the point where I didn't want them to get rid of this system, at least not so quickly. I think they can actually do a teeny bit more. You know, I said that with Assassin's Creed 3 came out. I was like, the naval combat's pretty good. They should do more with that, and they did with Assassin's Creed 4, which was a really excellent game in my personal opinion. I think they can do the same with Rogue and keep that sort of line of awesome naval combat, but have to increase the man-to-man combat, which was definitely lacking in Assassin's Creed 4. Not as fleshed out as 3 or as cinematically impressive as 3 was. Let's be honest. It's no debate that the fighting with your fist or fighting with blunt weapons, heavy weapons, using your pistols and whatnot. Well, actually they incorporated the pistols into the gameplay for Assassin's Creed 4 very well. But using different forms of weapons, which was a big thing on that, and then adding on the naval combat was interesting in and of itself. Assassin's Creed 4 could have benefited from that a little bit more. Otherwise, I thought it was pretty flawless, and it seems like Rogue is going to keep that trend going as far as the naval combat goes. Does Rogue... stop shaking desk. Does Rogue... Rogue, in my opinion, actually looks more interesting than Unity. Okay, I've said it. I think Rogue looks more interesting than Unity. Why? Story-wise, it looks more interesting than Unity. Then tell me, what would you be more invested in? I guess solving a murder mystery or something like... getting revenge for your father's murder as an assassin, as if we haven't seen that before. You know, that's basically what Assassin's Creed 2 was all about. Or having to find out the story of an assassin turned Templar, which was only hinted at in Assassin's Creed Revelations, or actually was first shown in Assassin's Creed Revelations, where there was actually an enemy that was once an assassin who turned Templar. And his story was very short, as well as Revelations being mostly overlooked by Assassin's Creed fans, which is a shame because it's not that bad of a game and introduced some new mechanics that we'll never see again because nobody cares. But yeah, it was obviously a filler game. You know, Revelations was a filler game, but for what it was, you know, it did have some interesting things about it. The apprenticeship, some of the bad guys that was thrown in there. And one in particular, you know, an assassin turned Templar, we never really found out why he turned a Templar, and now they actually are doing a game based on that fact, which was a really good concept. What if an assassin turned Templar? You know, that's not uncommon, I guess now. Oh, well, it's rare. You know, you don't normally see that in an Assassin's Creed game, especially having a main character be a part of that, but I'm getting off track, okay? Assassin's Creed done with. I think Rogue looks interesting more story-wise, but that's just my personal opinion. Alright, so what you just seen was the recordings from October 22nd, 27th, actually. Like I said, I cut off the Call of Duty part, and I'm basically just going to talk about it now, because at the time that was before it came out, and that was before I made the zombies reaction video. Yeah, so first thing off with Advanced Warfare, the zombies thing, it turns out I was like really excited about that. You know, if you seen my reaction video or not, it doesn't matter. We got a good bit of views on it, a lot of thumbs up from people, you know, so people really like the reaction video type stuff. Turns out the zombie stuff is only a bonus round in Exo Survival. It's not an actual mode, which is a shame because I think they do a really decent job on that, to be honest with you. The sound for the zombies, the way the zombies move, the zombies being able to use exosuit, that's some really neat stuff. I've seen the gameplay for it. But no, it's just a bonus round for survival, only for one map, I think. I don't know how many maps there are. It's for Riot. Of course, people already played it by now. You know, they got their own opinions about it. They think it's interesting for the most part. I want them to do more. I would like them to do more. And I know we have this mentality that Treyarch is the one that does the zombies thing, but after Black Ops 2, anybody can take care of the zombie stuff now. So it'll be fine if SledgeHammer actually does that. I haven't played the game. I don't plan on buying it. Why? It's not because the game's bad. No, it's not because of the game's bad, and I don't think the game's bad. It's mostly because of the fact that I've already talked about me being done with Call of Duty. I even made a video, I'm done with Call of Duty. I did some talking Call of Duty videos. I have talked about Advanced Warfare multiple times, what I think it's going to be, and how interested I was in it. I was hyped for it at first, and then I started to fall off a little bit of the bandwagon. Unless I'm keeping up with other YouTubers or friends, even people like my friend Shadow, if he's not telling me, or if I'm not watching somebody's channel like Thunder, or I'm not on Total Biscuit's channel or anything like that, or if I'm not watching Angry Joe, I don't know about the Call of Duty stuff. I don't really keep up with the news anymore because, you know, it's a franchise that I'm done with, personally. There are certain practices that Activision does that I just can't support anymore. One of them is having DLC maps. That's always been a pet peeve of mine because they promote this whole season pass thing, and I thought that would be mostly gone with the next gen, but I was totally wrong. They're still doing those type of policies. They're still charging you $60 for a game that's not a full game. And I know what you say, oh, well, you know, it's multiplayer, they can add on maps and so on and so on. Why don't you add maps over time? Why don't you put the maps in that you feel as though are right now, instead of cutting them off to be paid separately for DLC or for people to get the season pass? That's because they need to make money. And that's all that it boils down to. It's cheaper to release a game and not in its 100% state, just so you can milk it later for some extra cash. And this is a problem with a lot of games. You know, a lot of games do this. Even games that I really like, such as Infamous and stuff like that. They cut off these parts. But at least with those games like Infamous, or with Grand Theft Auto 4 did with their DLCs, it's like, at least it feels like you're playing another game. You know, it's like you're playing a full game. Call of Duty has always had this four maps thing going on, and it really bothers me. And they have not changed that. Activision refuses to change that. And that's not the only reason. One of the other reasons is that the Xbox only stuff. Now, I can get into a whole conversation about consoles and exclusives. You know, I haven't always been an advocate for, like, oh, consoles exclusives are stupid. No, this was actually recent. Like I said, when the next gen came out, I had a lot of things going on in my mind, a lot of ideas of what wouldn't be there and what are the new stuff that will be brought there. Feels more like playing on a PC, you know, stuff like that. No, they refuse to change that too. First on Xbox. Why isn't it just Xbox only? And even then, I would be pissed off if it was just Xbox only. So I'm glad it's multi-platform. But the fact that Xbox gets it first is just like a smack you in the face of PlayStation and PC users too. And Call of Duty, though, doesn't give a shit about the PC. You know, it's just, I heard the last Advanced Warfare, I seen the Advanced Warfare port for PC. It's actually pretty good. But there's a clear understanding that the consoles are more important to them in their mindset. And even with that being said, it's still one console, you know. It's best to play Call of Duty on the Xbox One. Okay. No, that shouldn't be. If it's multi-platform, you should put effort into all games. And if you're going to go ahead and do the stupid-ass charge you for map DLC junk that you've been doing for years, you refuse to change, then do that for everybody. Because you're eventually going to do... They only get it like a month early, I think, right? They're still doing that whole month early, Xbox get DLC first junk. I can't stand that. I don't even like console exclusives anymore. Because there are actually some games that are really good that should be available for all systems. You know, this was the discussion with something like Bayonetta. I never played Bayonetta, by the way, but that's some of the discussion that people had for Bayonetta. I had the same thing with Kingdom Hearts. I always thought it was a really good game, but people that played Xbox and PC couldn't experience it because it was PlayStation only. Infamous, same thing, really good gaming series. PlayStation only, Uncharted, it's the same thing. It's but that's a separate thing. The point is that they're still doing the whole DLC on one system first thing. Really stupid, really dumb. But as far as Advanced Warfare goes, for what I've seen, it pretty much has the setup of Black Ops 2. Now this is from me observing the game. This is for me watching videos, live streams from like different YouTubers, the ones I mentioned before, as well as getting kind of a first-hand impressions, or well, not first-hands, kind of getting a first impressions from my friend Shadow. He's been putting a lot of hours into the game, and he basically gave me his little review on it. And from what I've seen, it's like Black Ops 2, a mixture of Black Ops 2 and Titanfall. It's like what Black Ops 2 was trying to do. And you guys know how much I don't like Black Ops 2, but this one does what Black Ops 2 was trying to do, and, you know, it does it better. The future setting actually feels like it's within the future. I don't know what time period it is. They're not afraid to add new things. The whole exosuit ability thing, the jetpacks and stuff, the way the attack animations are, as far as the uppercut and stuff, that looks pretty neat. Or they shoot the grenade out their arms. That's some really that's a really cool detailed stuff. And you know, it feels futuristic and whatnot, even with some of the score streaks. Score streak system is back. That's pretty nice. I'm impressed. I've seen. You might have seen my activity on the channel as far as favorites and stuff go. I recently favored the Conan O'Brien Clueless Gamer review. That video is pretty funny. You guys should check that out. It was actually on the front page a couple of days ago. I think it's still on the front page of YouTube. And Conan is hilarious. Conan O'Brien's hilarious, but watching him play the game makes me want to get it. So as watching somebody like Total Biscuits first impressions video makes me want to get the game. But of course there are those policies that just keep holding me back. I cannot support Activision for that at all anymore. But the game itself, it's actually pretty decent for a Call of Duty game, and it's a really good looking one. It's possibly the best looking Call of Duty game I've seen, and I'm going for PC as well as console. You know, it is hands down the best looking Call of Duty graphic wise. Gameplay wise, this definitely is doing something new, which is going to alienate. I feel is going to alienate a lot of the hardcore Call of Duty fans base, which is good because most of them are camping, quick-scoping little bitches. So that's fine with me. Of course, it's all fine with me. I'm not with the franchise anymore, but for people who are still want to be part of Call of Duty, it's going to take some getting used to. Anybody who masters the exosuit stuff, it's going to do fine. It seems the game is definitely built around that for the most part, as far as going on rooftops and everything, which is nice because there's reasonably sized maps, not too big as Ghosts, or maps like Ghosts wouldn't be a problem in this game only because of the exosuits. The exosuits make moving around a lot faster, so there's a lot of fast-paced gameplay, and I'm glad to see that back. But for overall, you know, this isn't really a review, this is just like my thoughts on it. I can't review the game unless I have the copy of the game itself, or when I get it digitally or something like that. if I don't play hands-on with the game, I can't give a full-on review, but from what I've seen, I think it's worth getting, especially if you're a COD fan. If you are a hardcore Call of Duty fan, this might turn you off a bit only because of the futuristic stuff. It'll be a learning curve for everybody, new or old. So yeah, I don't think it's half bad. I actually think we finally got a good Call of Duty, well, a decent one for a while now. Because I didn't like Black Ops 2, so what was the last one I liked? I think Black Ops 1 for the most part, and I stopped at level 30. I stopped playing once I got to level 30 in multiplayer. That's how much it pissed me off. But I have to admit, if I go back and play it now, I can say, oh wow, this was actually pretty good compared to like the recent ones, except for Advanced Warfare, which is the one that's been good for a long time. So people that have been saying that, oh, Advanced Warfare is like the best since Modern Warfare, they're right. I think they are really right. Even for, I think PC users can breathe a sigh of relief now, for those who like to play Call of Duty on PC. But alright, guys, I think I talked about that long enough. I don't know how long this video is going to be once I edit the old stuff in. If it still runs on for half an hour, I apologize. But like I said, I'm going to have the links up at the bottom, so you can click on that to go through the video. Alright, you probably already did because this is the epilogue. Okay, I appreciate you guys watching this video. I want you all to have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh, and as far as the people that have watched my series reviews and stuff like that, I'm going to try to get on to the My Little Pony thing. I'm going to try to get part 2 done this weekend, hopefully. The problem with that is that I got some projects I got to do, but it seems like they're going to go on for pretty long. So I'm going to try to do that, or mostly around Thanksgiving I might release it, or, excuse me, or earlier. Because Thanksgiving is like the biggest time I'll have, because I'll have Wednesday all the way to like next Monday during I'll have like pretty much that whole week out, so that's great. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you soon.